very happy to be here with you today, and thank you so much for doing this
Yeah, awesome.
and just posting all of your content. I'm I want to be quant, or specifically, I want to become a software developer on the quantitative side,
Okay.
and your journey has been very inspiring for me.
Awesome. Good to hear. So what sort of questions do you have for me now that I know a bit about you?
So I'm still a beginner.
Okay.
I don't come from a traditional software development background. That
That's
is,
fine.
I have a completely different degree. I'm actually did my undergrad in architecture,
Okay.
and then I'm doing now a master's in software development in Oxford.
Okay.
But I was wondering, like, how difficult it is for someone who's had quite the career. So I've done architecture for about 10 years, so it's quite some time. And just decided to switch very recently and thought Oxford would be a good place to start. But what would be your general advice for me? That's first question.
Yeah.
Second question
Let's
is
start first and just write down the second in
okay.
case you forget. Because I'm
Yeah.
going to forget otherwise. So the first thing that you're doing that's great is that you're like, you have a more structured way of going about learning, which is your master's degree. So you already have some structure in terms of like what you want to learn and where you want to learn it, which is good. You're putting your best foot forward there. Something that I would highly encourage is pet projects. So effectively, like if you want to break into quant, what sort of quant related projects can you build? So maybe you want to build a trading engine, or depending on what language you're learning, maybe you want to build a Twitter bot that listens in on Elon Musk's Twitter feed, and every time he tweets about Doge, makes like a purchase decision or an exit decision, right? So
Yeah.
something that might be like a little kind of like gimmicky little trading tool that might be cute and easy to make. Um,
Yeah.
Another direction that I'd go in is any clubs at school that are quant related or economics or kind of financy related. Those would probably be
Yeah.
worth pursuing.
Okay.
Um, Beyond that, I think another thing that might help you stand out is if you read any books related to the field, just so you can have like a good understanding of the field itself. Now, you might think that some people might have bias against you in terms of your architectural background. The guy that sat beside me literally every day did like 7 years in architecture before he transitioned into software engineering. So yeah, a lot of firms, especially the smaller firms, will see that as long as you can spit it in a way, like phrase it in a way that is going to come off as, being relevant, then that's definitely not like a hindrance. I don't want you to think of it as a hindrance. People make career changes all the time. So as long as you can communicate that and describe how you have traits that you've learned in architecture that are transferable to quant, I think that'll still work. So obviously in architecture, attention to detail is important. Planning is important. Scoping requirements is important. And working with multiple different teams is important. Those are all like really relevant skills for quant as well. So it's all about how you kind of like frame your past history in light of what you want to do moving forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Perfect. I mean, the next question is kind of related, which is how old can one be to break into the quantitative field?
So I,
Like,
I don't really think like age is a hindrance really, because at the end of the day, like what companies should really be doing is assessing your competency. So if they're discriminating against candidates off things that have nothing to do with competency, then that just harms them. I had a intern when I was a junior that I was overseeing, and he was 30 and I was 26. So there
okay.
isn't like bias there, or there shouldn't be at least. Can you
Okay.
control the way that every firm operates? Probably not, but that's the way that I would go about doing it. And at the end of the day, the way like a lot of people don't realize it, it's about how you frame yourself. So age is, in most cultures, age is seen as like you're gaining wisdom with time and intelligence and experience, right? So as long as you
Mhm.
frame it like it's experience that you've learned and grown, and this is how it's applicable to quant, then that's going to go a long way.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you so much for this. I
Yeah,
really appreciate it.
sure.
And the other question is, I've seen that you created some sort of a channel on Patreon.
Yeah.
Is that something people could join? Like if I want to have like one-on-ones or follow-ups, just
Yeah,
to,
so what I do is when I live stream, I leave the Discord
yeah.
open. Like I go in
Okay.
the Discord voice channel, and then anybody that's a patron can just join and talk and ask questions and just chill. One-on-ones are more expensive because they're just like I have hundreds of people emailing me. I don't have if they were free for everybody, like effectively it would not it would
Yeah,
take up all
would
my
be,
time. So I need a way to
yeah, of
discriminate
course.
against people that are not serious or might not have intention. So I charge for that. But when every time I'm online and the Discord's voice is open, people just jump in and talk and chill.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
The other question, actually follow up to that as well. What's the time zone that you're in?
I'm in Chicago time.
Chicago. Okay,
Yeah.
that's okay. I'm based in London, so
it's late there now, right?
yeah, kind of, but it's okay. Like it's not that late. I used to work with LA time zone. That
Oh,
was
I see.
yeah, that was intense. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's it for me for now.